Good morning. It is Thursday. I am in school really early today because I have to get ready for the activity that we're working on today. So my students are looking at the relationship between the factors that affect rate, like concentration, temperature, particle size, or really surface area, and the time it takes for the reaction to complete. So we're really looking at average rates. So my students are working on the reaction between magnesium and hydrochloric acid. So I've spent a lot of time cleaning magnesium, probably more than I ever have, because you get that great black oxidized layer on the outside of it. But that's okay. I think the kids are doing a really great job designing their experiment, and I'll share with you how I kind of provided a little bit better scaffolding, because designing your experiment from scratch can be pretty daunting. So I will check in with you a little bit later on. This is the digital interactive notebook that I made for my students to provide some scaffolding as we go through and have them create their own procedure and kind of plan their investigation. So I broke it up into the intro, and then there were some requirements that had to be met. So for example, I told the students that they needed at least 3 data points. So they needed 3, observations of some kind. So if they were measuring temperature, for example, we were looking at the effect that temperature of a reaction has on reaction time. So they were expected to at least do 3 different trials of 3 different temperatures. They also had to include safety precautions, and I had to look at it before they did anything in the lab. They also were expected to use Google Sheets to create their data tables and graphs. And then I did tell them that they do have a constraint of no more than 60 mils of 3 molar hydrochloric acid can be used for the 3 trials, and then they can only use 0.5 grams of magnesium. The planning was just them becoming more familiar with the reaction, identifying dependent, independent, and controlled variables. The procedure was just your standard old, like what materials and equipment are you using, what's your safety, and then what's the procedure. And then finally, I asked them to watch a video if they needed to on how to make a graph in Google Sheets. And then what they did was they inserted their observations and data above here, and then they they copied and pasted their graph from Google Sheets in here. And then there were some analysis questions that were included as well. I really like being able to do it this way because I kind of feel like the students are able to share a little bit more with each other, and I'm able to go into Google and see what they typed. So it worked out pretty well. It is the end of the day. It's about 4 o'clock. I am all finished, and I just finished cleaning up a whole bunch of stuff from the activity. As I mentioned this morning, my students were designing their own experiment from scratch, and you can, as you can imagine, it's exhausting, I think, for me, just because I want them to get like reliable data, and but everybody has so many different opinions, and I sometimes have a hard time letting go. But it is what it is. I think that they did a great job overall. I think everything looked really good. I do feel that there's a lot of power in the fact that the students, some of them didn't get the data that they were thinking they would. And I say that because, they have already some knowledge of collision theory. That was the first thing we did to start our unit on reaction rates. And they were using this knowledge to help them to be able to understand the factors that affect rate and like what happens on the particulate level. And so as the students were kind of going through and they were looking at the data, they were like, oh, this data point doesn't make sense, or this data point doesn't make sense. And, so they were able to kind of say, oh, something doesn't seem right. And that really fueled some really amazing class discussions today. I really felt like the kids were super engaged with each other, because they were having such great conversations about what they were seeing. So I felt it was very, very productive. I thought it was a really good exercise. This activity took about 3 periods, and, I'm sure some people would think, oh my gosh, 3 periods just to, learn about that. But, I feel like they gained so much more insight because they were using a lot of reasoning. They were trying to design an experiment and have appropriate variables, some variables controlled, and incorporated graphing. They had to decide on what data they need to collect. So I think all in all, it was a really great experience for the kids because we don't always get the chance to allow our students to create their own, procedures. We don't give them a chance to gather their own data necessarily, like from scratch, or to even decide what type of data that they need. That doesn't really happen all too much. And so I think it was a good change of pace for my class. And I did ask my students at the end of class, like, hey guys, what did you think? And they did say that they actually really liked it. They thought it was a great change of pace too. So I'm glad we were on the same page. I mean, it happens more often than not that we are on the same page, but sometimes you never know. After we shared our findings, then we watched this cute video. It's like one of the cutest videos. It's by Aaron Sams, I'm pretty sure. And it's, I think it's entitled How to Speed Up a Reaction and Get a Date to the Dance or something like that. So it relates the chemistry of reaction rates to basically forming love connections and finding a date to the dance. So the kids really enjoyed that because I think it brought together the collision theory aspect and the factors that affect rate. And it's a cartoon, and it's only 5 minutes long. So if you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below so you can check it out. But it was awesome, and I think it really kind of brought everything together for the kids. It was a really good summary. So we watched that at the end. It was like 5 minutes at the end of class. So I am going to get out of here because I feel like my eyes are closing. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a great week with your students. I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks so much for watching to the end of this video. I hope you found the information helpful as you teach science to your students. I really don't want to lose touch, so please make sure that you hit both like and subscribe so you get notifications every time I post a new video, and I'll catch you later.